Hello everyone, this is Flatline, and today I'm going to be doing another HotS episode. And in this episode we're going to be covering a Rain. Rain, pretty much my favorite Protoss player. My favorite StarCraft 2 player right now. Just playing super solid, plays super standard, super safe. And is just a straight up macro oriented type of player. We're going to be going over his series against Bomber. I think it displays a little bit more of his style. Now, also, it does show him adjusting to his opponent somewhat. Bomber, really well known to play super aggressive, doing those like Marine, Marauder, Medevac, Viking, SCV all-ins. Just hyper aggressive mid-game player. And we'll see how Rain wants to deal with this. Now, this is my second take on this because I accidentally had the overlays messed up just a little bit. So I actually know what happens in this game. It's unfortunate, but this is more of an educational thing. It's not really more for entertainment. So we see Rain opening up with a pylon. Wow, this is really boring in the beginning. I'm just gonna speed this up just to, get past the boring stage. So Akalon Waste, well, we're just going on with this. Very easy to secure a third base. You kill off these rocks, you kill this off, you kind of defend 3 bases. However, this part of the map becomes really hard for Protoss because of the medevacs. You can pick up, go inside the main, or you can bring them back over here towards the third. It can get quite annoying for Protoss, but you just had to put an observer over here on patrol and you should be fine. Bomber is going for a CC first. Rain scouts it, going for a gateway scout, not putting any guys in gas because right now he just wants to get enough minerals to make a nexus. It's all about minerals at this point. Once he gets the nexus down, you can see he's now getting his gas. Cyber on the way, he's probably going to be getting second gas as well, whenever he can afford it. Bomber going up those 2 racks, pretty normal, not getting any gas. We saw Rain and Nazi. If you see Terran's getting a very quick gas. It's a little bit greedy by them, but they're assuming that you're going to respond by getting a quick nexus, and that's what Rain kind of just does. But if you do see a quick gas being taken from Terran, it means he's going to be going for some kind of tech, generally. So just a quick factory play. Instead, it looks like it's just going to be gasless. He's adding on a third Rax here. And majority of the time when they do this is because they want to do some kind of like Marine poke at the natural, which is gonna force Rain to use a photon overcharge. Unfortunately for Bomber, he actually doesn't scout, so he's probably gonna just use the 3 racks to just play super safe. Had Bomber actually scouted the quick nexus from Rain, he can actually just poke, force a photon overcharge, and then back away. And there's really nothing Rain can do, except use up those 100 energy on the mothership core. The last thing you want to do is when you do that mid-game push against Protoss, if he has 200 energy, drops, and the mid-game push that Terran does can get quite easy to defend with. Do you see that Robo? Second gateway on the way, third gateway. This is pretty much the normal production buildings you want. This is pretty much the norm. Get 3 gateways, get your Robo off 2 bases. Once you get establish the second base with full economy, 16 probes on the minerals, 3 in each gas. You go up to 6 gateways and a robotics bay for your Colossus, and then you can add your forges as well. A Bomber getting 1 tech lab here. This 1 tech lab means he's not going to be pressuring. He wants to save up his gas for factory. Had Bomber got, like, let's say another tech lab and reactor, then he's going to be doing a 3 rack stem timing and then factory, so his factory is going to be delayed in that regard, but he's going to be pushing with a lot of bio units. Both of them require different responses. If you do see them going for an early pressure before medevacs come out, then you want to invest into an immortal. You do this, but since Bomber is not doing that, you could play pretty passive. You can wait for your Colossus to come out. But we do see a very quick Twilight counter from Rain here. and a Forge on the way. So this Twilight counter really quickly can either mean he wants to get very quick blink, which doesn't really make sense at this point. He doesn't really have that many stalkers. We're probably going to be getting High Templars. It's too late to go for DTs right now. So yeah, it's probably High Templars. We do see charge, so it's going to be charge plus 1 armor. And the Warp Prisms. This is where... Oh yeah, so I pretty much looked at the preview and I kind of like cut it off, I think like 7:30 of this game. So here I don't really know what's going on, as you can tell. Templar Archives on the way. The Warp Prism, I like the Warp Prism a lot. It's gonna help force Terran to play defensive. What you want to do is you have this Stalker to kind of see where his army's at. When he sees his army move out over here, oh, now he's moved it away. I'm not sure. You must have kind of vision like right here, because when his army moves out right here, that's when this Warp Prism should drop inside the main, because you want to force Terran to come back to his base to buy more time. You don't want Terran to be like right here and then drop, because then if they commit, it might just be too much for you to handle, especially when you're going for Storm. If you're going for Storm, in fact he hasn't started Storm, this is actually pretty bad. There's a Storm. He wants to constantly chrono boost this too, because it's going to be pretty late here. He only has 3 Zealots, a Stalker, and 2 Sentries. And because he's going up for Templar Archives, yeah, he should be getting up to 8 gates, 7 and 8 gateway on the way. If it's Colossus, you can stay on 6 gateways and go Colossus. But if you go Templar, you want to go to 8 gates. He's got an Archon on the way. This army's already past halfway through the map, so this Warp Prism is going to do a lot of damage. But is he actually going to be able to hold this? A lot of units. 106 supply for Bomber, 87 for Rain. And I'm not sure if he's actually going to be able to hold this. He has a nice observer placements here. He has a lot of vision. Looks like he's just going to engage right here in the front with all of his units. He's got only 1 Archon. The Archon is a really nice touch. Ideally you just want Storm. You want Storm against this, and Storm just about to finish up right now. This 3 Zealot drop here actually did a lot of damage over here inside the main of Bomber here. 101 to 91. Rain just has to survive without losing any probes here, but I don't know if he's actually be able to do that. He does feedback the medevac, so he's not going to be able to heal his bio army. He's pulling some of these probes. Never a good thing to see, especially when it's not an all-in coming from Terran. Bomber over here doing a lot of damage. He's also forcing the economy of Rain to get a little bit worse than usual. But at the same time, I mean, Rain's doing that as well, but it hurts more Protoss than Terran because of the mules. You can regain your economy a little bit quicker than Protoss with the help of mules. $69 to 87. See, this is where it got really bad. Like I said, the drop from the Warp Prism was going to do a lot of damage, but you want to do the drop to force Terran to come back in the mid game. In the late game, you know, if his army's like in the middle of the map, let's say you're both like on 3+ bases, that's okay to like drop when he's in the middle of the map. Because you have such a bank, you can actually make your units. But when you're in mid game, every unit counts right now for Rain here. He doesn't have that big bank that he can spend. You can see his money really low as well as Terran. We do see some SCVs being pulled here, and yeah, you want to have Storm against this. This is that signature Bomber style, just pulling the SCVs off 2 bases. Nice hot pickup from Bomber here. No more force fields from Rain. He's got like a 1 left, but you want to have Storm against this. Archons are a nice touch, but you need that huge AoE damage to deal with this. You know, either Colossus or Storm. Obviously, you can't go for Colossus right now. So what you want to do here is just buy enough time to have Storm. He is pulling all of his workers to kind of deal with this. Every second counts. He just needs to find ways to buy time here. 70 energy right here, so he needs to just back this up. He should have enough when his army meets his High Templars. He's going to need some nice storms. Nice storms to make him right there. It's going to kill off 4 of those Vikings actually died. Wow, that's sick. Most of these marauders are in red, but I'm not sure. This is really close, but the reinforcements from Bomber, I think this can be too much. Bio excels in small numbers. Gateway Army or Protoss usually excels when it's maxed army, which coins off for the Protoss Death Ball. You never hear a Bio Death Ball. And yeah, this is the problem when you do this, is that with small army you kind of just kite. And it's really easy to kite and split up your army in micro when it's just small enough, small number of units you have to control. And there's really, there's a certain limit that you can kind of, micro and control with gateway units with charge rocks. But this should be gained here. As Bomber throwing down mules, rebuilding up his SCVs. Rain has to lose his natural. Losing this natural is pretty much GG. And yeah. So yeah. The SCV pull all-ins are really strong and really hard to defend, I will say. You just have to play nearly perfect. You have to make sure everything's timed out nicely. You gotta make sure you get Storm right, make sure you have High Templars waiting or worked in so you can gather up enough energy for Storm. And the drop right here was definitely late. Late. I'm pretty sure if Bomber was right here and you just dropped in his main, he would stem his army back into his main. Pulling him all the way back up here, that storm would have been done if he went back over here to engage. That would have given him enough time to have at least 2 storms. Well, he made 2 Archons, so he could have had 4 storms in that engagement, possibly. And that would have changed that engagement completely. But I do like that he went Templar Archives. Because, like I said, Bomber is really well known for his Marine SCV all-ins. You should be able to do that. High Templars are way better than Colossus when it comes to defending those SCV all-ins. Especially when you can engage on the ramp, like on Akelon Waste. But, just got caught out of position. So the next map is Anaconda. This map is from OGN here. And you have 2 expansions in your back door. And there are rocks here that your opponent can kill off and then, swing by with the flank. And then you also have an expansion right outside your front door. So this kind of opts for like 3 base play from Terran at least in PvT. This map's pretty good for Zerg, I would say, just because you can kill these rocks and then kind of maneuver, around. But at the same time, this can actually be really good for Protoss because in super late game warp gate mechanics, you can pull them apart. Warp in from the back, attack in the front, drop in the middle base. There's just so many things you can actually do on this map. Bomber actually opting to go 1 racks gasless expand rather than going CC first like he did in the first match. He's also killing these rocks. Very quick gas coming from Bomber here. And this is a response to some kind of fast. He wants to get some kind of fast tech. And when you see Terrans killing off their own rocks, it means they want to play defensive. So you don't have to worry about him going across the map to kill you super early in the game. So you can play pretty greedy as a Protoss here. Rain getting his expansion. You can see he is actually playing greedy. He's not making any units from his gateway whatsoever. 3rd command center on the way for Bomber. There's the factory. That's what that gas is for. Interested to see if he wants to do like a very quick Widow Mine drop, or is it Hellbat drop? What does he actually want to do with that factory? I'm not sure. Armory on the way, so could it be I think Hellbat drop? Might want to go for some quick Hellbat drops, and I mean that could be pretty good because the amount of units Protoss should have is very low. If you kill off your rocks and you're playing defensive, A way to deal some damage is to harass with medevacs. Medevacs are really strong in the early stage because Protoss generally doesn't have the units to kill off a medevac at that point. Tech Lab on there and a Thor, so a Thor rush? He's getting a second factory and a third factory, so Bomber going for mech. We'll see what Rain wants to do. He's putting a pylon here. I like this pylon. It's going to be able to spot the rocks here. It's going to spot the backyard of him. Mortal on the way. Temple Archives on the way. He's getting +1 armor. Surprised about the armor instead of the attack. You generally get armor against Terran, but that's when they go Bio, because Bio has a higher DPS than you. But mech, they're more of a sturdy type units that deal damage over time. They don't really have that high burst like Bio does. So you generally just want +1 attack so you can, you know, lower down their health as soon as possible and kill them. What does he have in here? Oh, 2 High Templars. So it looks like he's going for Storm Drops. This is gonna be sick. Getting a third base. Adding up to 6 gateways. 6 gateways, a second robo on the way. So it looks like he's going to be going for Immortal High Templar composition against mech. And this seems to be the right thing to do against mech here. I like this a lot. You have the Storms to deal with Hellbats or Widow Mines. He doesn't know exactly what he's up against. Nice Storm right there connecting at the third base or the front expansion of Bomber, killing off some SCVs there. And I guess he did some Storms here that I missed because he has some of these SCVs here that are damaged. The supply 125 to 97, so it's not looking too good for Rain, but it's mech. Mech generally does not move out until they get around 160-ish supply at least, because they get better as the number grows. You want to have some kind of sturdy unit to tank for your Thors and tank for your tanks and Thors, and that's going to be the Hellbats. You want to have a lot of units because, like I said, they deal a lot of damage over time, so if you can keep them alive for a long period of time, you do a lot of damage. But if they're not alive for a long time, then they don't deal as much damage as much as you invest into them. It's not worth it. So these Storm Drops are definitely hurting Bomber's economy pretty badly here. Quite significant, I must say. 3 Immortals, 2 Immortals. He's double pumping out Immortals here, but it looks like we are moving out. 155 Bomber here. We'll see how this does. We do have Storm from Rain, and it's going to come down to this. In this situation, when you're dealing with mech, if you want to engage with this kind of composition, you want to storm the Hellbats. You want to kill them off immediately, because if you kill them off, then the Immortals can pretty much kill everything. Because Bomber doesn't really have any ghosts. That's where mech becomes super strong in PvTs. When they add on ghosts to EMP the Immortals so they lose their hardened shield, that's when the tanks and the Thors actually do sick damage against the Immortals. But if you do not have ghosts, then you need to rely on your Hellbats to do a lot of damage. Oh, 6 Storms, nice Time Warp's gonna kill off almost all of the Hellbats immediately. And once you kill off all the Hellbats, the Immortals pretty much kill everything else. And you can see that happening right now. The Thors are not having a nice time whatsoever. Are they slower than 1.88? Yeah, so they're a little bit slower than the Immortals here, so the Immortals can actually catch up to the Thors here. He's gonna pick up he's actually gonna drop. Rain out of position, doesn't have any Mothership Core with his army, nor does he, even if he had it, he used 2 Time Warps, so he's not gonna be able to have enough energy to recall back home. So a little nice harassment from Bomber. We do see some Zealots being warped in here. Some micro pickups from Bomber. But he's going to have to defend this cushion. This is a lot of units from Rain. This is 7 Immortals. Oh, he had 8. 8 Immortals, down to 7, 6. No units from Bomber. The Warp Prism also going to help him reinforce. Bomber's not going to be able to deal with this. And this is a classic show, or a classic game of why mech is not really popular in PvT or TVP in general. It's because it's a lot harder to, the success rate for it is not as much as the bio play, just straight up bio play. because mech is all about positioning and defending. It's all about defending and positioning your army in the right spot. Defending in the case of it's kind of Protoss has to harass and try to hurt the economy, because if they leave you untouched, it's gonna be easy for you to get up to Mech Ghost, and that's where Mech Ghost excels. Positioning in the sense that like the storm drops. I mean, these storms right here hurting the Hellbats. If he slowly pushed his way, he might have been able to. It's just way too slow for him, so he's just gonna be out of position because of the observers. Rain can see this ahead of time. He's gonna be able to position his army way better than Bomber. And the other downside is the reinforcements. It's like if you lose your army as mech, it's really hard for you to rebuild up an army. You kind of just generally lose to the counterattack from Protoss as long as they keep their immortals alive, which Rain did. The counterattack is just going to be too much damage for you to handle. Whereas for Bio, you can kind of work your way, because like I said, Bio really works well when it's a small group of army. It's a lot easier to maneuver with them and control them. Alright, so game 3 is Belcher Vestige. I like this map as like the default map, I guess you could say. I think it's pretty good for all the races. I know some Zergs don't like this map though. It's pretty small. Once you get to 3 bases, the 4th base just gets closer to your opponent. Generally, Zergs don't like that. Tough luck. Rain going for a gateway. Bomber going for barracks, and he's not getting gas yet. Maybe 15 gas? Yep, so he's getting 15 gas. So 15 gas means he's going to be going for a Rax reactor. Possibly expand. If it's not going to be expand, then he's going to be getting a factory. And this looks more like, yeah, reactor expand and then into factory. Because if it was factory, he would add on this gas already, like a long time ago. There is the factory coming from him. The Zealot's gonna scout this. And look, this is what I love about Rain. He scouts. He just absolutely scouts somehow. If it's with the probe or his Zealot. And then his mid game is beautiful. He makes so many observers against Terran that it's only upon himself to lose the game, because he has all the information he needs. He sees, like for instance, game number 2. He saw the he's facing against mech. Completely different response. Look at the army composition that he had in game 1 and compared to game 2. He had more. He had a lot of immortals compared to game number 1. He didn't really make an immortal. So the Hellion Marine forces a photon overcharge. That's gonna be pretty nice for Bomber here. Rain has a pylon here. Okay, this is some new stuff here from Rain. He's actually going up to 3 gates. Has an observer. He did scout what he was up against. He saw the factory, so he knows that when you see a factory from Terrans that early, like it's a 1, he's doing a very quick 1-1-1, even if he got an expand. They are generally have to do damage because they're investing so much into these harass type units, the Widow Mines, the Hellions, that if he doesn't really do any damage to them, your counter attack should be able to do a lot of damage. You see a lot of stalkers coming out from Rain. And look, like I said, so much information with these observers. He knows where his opponent's at, and he's gonna be able to have the better position. But 3 Hellions do sneak inside the main. He's gonna be able to clean up all the Hellions, I mean the Marines here. But the Hellbats, I'm not sure how many workers had. he's gonna lose. He lost 6 workers. That's actually pretty bad. Oh, he's gonna lose some more. Alright, so his counterattack has to do some kind of damage. It has to do a lot of damage. No bunker from Bomber. Oh, that's pretty much game. Yeah, that's GG. Sick. Sick play from Rain there. Saw what he was up against. He didn't make any sentries, by the way, because he saw it right off the bat with his Zealot. If he wants to go for a hyper aggressive play like that, you generally don't want to make any sentries. Obviously, having 1 sentry would have been nice to force field to block off the 3 Hellions from coming inside the main. But his timing attack was perfect, absolutely perfect. Right before that bunker gets up, kills it off. Bomber can't really do anything. He's gonna have to force a lift off, and anytime you force a lift off, really bad for Terran. Really bad for Terran. And game number 2, game number 3, just absolutely perfect. He had all the information he needed, and he played it really well. Game number 1 was just a shows when he moved that stalker out of position. He doesn't have the vision of when he moved out. That's where it got really bad for him, because it was just a bad timing for him to see that. Alright, and the next game they played was Star Station. So it's what, 2-1 Rain at this point. He's feeling really confident. I think he's just gonna play straight up, because look at the time and time again, it's Bomber that's on the aggressive side, Rain just defending, and then he counterattacks, pretty much. Once he kills off that aggression, he just counterattacks. That's pretty much what Rain does, his signature style, and I like that a lot because it kind of makes sense. You know, you crush a harassment or some aggressive push that your opponent invests in quite a bit. It's really hard for them to defend if that push didn't really do anything. See what Bomber wants to do. He's gonna be opening up with a barracks first. Is he gonna get gas? This map's actually pretty good for Reapers. At the same time, this map's actually really good for Blink. So I would not be surprised if Bomber goes for some, like, if he blindly goes for tanks. Tanks are really good against Blink stalkers. But this is just so much you can just blink, you know, around. We'll see if Rain wants to throw in some kind of cheese. Knowing Rain, I doubt he'll do that though, because he's just a straight up player in PvT. Do you see that command center coming down from him? So 1 Rack's gas is coming out from him. And Rain gonna be... See, is he gonna... There's his Nexus. It's later than I would like. But that's because he made this Zealot. Oh well. Second gas, Mothership Core on the way. Hidden 3rd base from Bomber. Now I like this from Bomber a lot because it's like he has to take some kind of risk at this point. You know, just knowing how Rain plays. Very reliant on his scouting and reacting. Putting a hidden base far away where, you know, Rain's gonna ever scout. It's gonna help him quite a bit. But what is this? Twilight Council, Dark Shrine coming out from Rain. Proxy Dark Shrine. And we see a Robo, so it's gonna be Warp Prism DT. And this is just unfortunate for Rain here, actually. Yeah, he's actually playing cheeky this one game when I was like, I don't think he's gonna do it. Because 3 Command Center actually does quite well against Dark Shrine builds. Because you have 3 orbital commands, you can constantly scan one after the other. So Bomber's response, once he sees the DTs and actually defends it, he's just gonna push across the map, save up energy, and then he should win. But it comes down to how much damage these Dark Templars do. I like that Zealot poke, he does sacrifice it, but at the cost he also saw, you know, there's no Warp Prisms here, he saw a lot of Marines as well. All the Marines, you know, you're not facing mech, anything like that. Here comes that DT, go inside the main, here comes the Marines here, Killing off some workers. 7 workers. 10 workers killed. Yeah, it's just doing too much damage right now. Oh my gosh. It got scouted? Whoa. Okay. We need to slow this down. Rain actually... Oh my gosh. That is just unfortunate. Because I bet you when this lifted off, he had energy for it. But because it lifted off, he couldn't scan. So we'll see when he scouts this, because that is just some sick play by him. Oh my gosh. Okay, so he doesn't have. He just dropped mules. Oh, that is unfortunate. Okay then, never mind. So at this point, I mean, Rain just did too much damage. He scouted the third, he forced the lift off. The DTs definitely do a lot of damage here. He has to salvage the bunker here. He needs to get as much minerals as possible. To regain as many minerals as possible. And these DTs, I mean, they're still alive. There's still one right here going to be coming out. Supply depots. I mean, definitely worth whatever. 16 workers killed. The units lost have speaks for itself. Probably gonna come over here, spot what's going on. And then look at Rain's vision. So many green dots all over the map. DTs, pretty much observers at this point. His scout kind of forced the army to play defensive. Because the army's playing defensive, look back at Rain's base. Doesn't really have that many units. He's going for an immortal base composition. So he's gonna go immortal charge lot, +1 armor, and he's also getting that Templar Archives as well. And he does see that third base being taken. 4 zealots being worked in, +1 armor finished up. Charge about to finish up as well. He does have a dark DT still inside the main. But these 4 DTs, I mean 4 zealots are going to do a lot of damage as well. I mean, what do you do? I mean, he's getting pulled apart. You do not want to pull your workers in a bomber situation right now because he doesn't have any... and he loses both of those the missile turrets. You can see he focused fire. He wanted to go for the workers. Once the workers were going away, he kill off the missile turrets. So that way more DTs will just be more effective. Look at this, he's just harassing here. Do you see a huge drop coming from Bomber though? Nice photon overcharge. The buildings are actually helping out Bomber. Look at this. It's gonna be so hard for these zealots to actually do anything. This is why I don't really advise people to build little funnels like this. Unless you know you're facing Hellions, don't build funnels like this. It makes it really hard for you to deal with drops if they get in that position. More DTs doing more damage. 106 to 83 in favor of them. But Bomber sniping off the main, really nice. If he snipes off the third base, I think he could pull back, you know, in the game. But right now he's still behind. High Templar Storm finishing up. He doesn't have any High Templars, though. High Templars would really help right now. Just because he can feedback, he can storm. So you look, Bomber is gonna be playing aggressive. Medevac's going across the map. A lot of units as well. Gonna be able to snipe off the third. Oh gosh. Rain is getting pulled apart here. 116 to 100. Bomber is catching back. I mean, look at the supply now. 100 to 116. He's supply blocked. Bomber's coming back in this game, guys. 32 SCVs though. So he has a long way though. He has a long way, but I mean, he is catching up, sniping off. Basically, Rain's on one base. I know that his main is just rebuilt. Raindrops coming over here, be able to do a lot of damage. But there's 2 mortals here. Gonna be able to fend off this drop. And the push coming over here. But look at the difference between game number 1 and game number 4. Rain has High Templars back over here with Storm. He's gonna have easy time with this. Easy time with this. Dune drop coming over here inside the main. I like what Bomber's doing. He knows he has to initiate something. He has to do something to get back in this game. All these zealots, pretty much free food. But here comes the storm, the ice storm on the medevac. To be able to kill off, you know, I mean, soften up some of the medevacs, but he's not gonna be able to kill off all of them. This sucks. This sucks. When you see all these medevacs over here in this corner, what does Rain do? I mean, there's really nothing he can do. He has to play defensive. He has to stay back. Because his army has to be all the way back in this position, he can never rebuild this. I mean, he can never get his third base over here. These DTs are still doing damage. What? Alright, drop in the main over here. Photon overcharge helping quite a bit. And the snipe off the Archon and bounce out. Ooh. Okay, I would feedback this. We want to snipe off medevacs in this situation, guys. When he's pretty much relying on drops. I mean, yeah, killing the ground army is nice, but like, if you have any units that could kill the medevacs, use those to target the medevacs. You let the zealots deal the damage on the ground. Oh my gosh, those storms didn't even stem any of his units to get out of them. 114 and 125, but look at the supplies. I mean, it's slowly evening up for Bomber here. He's not making any SCVs, which is like weird for me. I mean, he's doing all of this harass, and I thought he was just trying to. I mean, if he was making SCVs while he's been doing this, I feel like he would be ahead. Like, this harassment is just on point. He has a lot of units though. 127 to 136. We'll see if he's actually going to be able to do something here. It's a wide open map here, so the storms are not going to be as good. Oh, nice focus fire. Sniping off 3 High Templars, only 1 High Templar left for Rain here. A little bit sloppy, but that +2 armor is helping quite a bit against the 1-1 bio of Bomber here. I mean, look at this. This DT right here, still holding this third base. I just don't know exactly. There's the SCV pool. Okay, now. That's why he's not making any workers. He's gonna be using the workers. Alright, so we'll see how this goes. But like I said, against SCV pool islands, if you have High Templars, you are in pretty good shape. As long as they're with your army. I mean, there's. And look at these, SCVs are way out of position, not in front of the biome. You want them in front of the Marines and Marauders so they can tank the damage. He's trying to snipe off this Archon. I like this a lot by Bomber. He knows that this does a lot of splash, and it's pretty softened up. But he doesn't actually kill it. Still, he has some High Templars. He had 3 High Templars. We'll see how this goes. Wow, that storm completely messed. You want to get those time warps and then the storms. The longer this goes, the better for you anyway. So if he doesn't want to, you know, go inside the time warp, instead he wants to wait for it, you know, disappear. It's gonna be better for you. You can warp in more High Templars back home and get more storms. Because of the engagement, just so many zealots from Rain. So many zealots. 98 to 124, and I guess there was some kind of harassment we missed because there's a lot of units Bomber was missing here. A lot. And here comes another storm. He still has 5 High Templars. All of which pretty much have storm. And yeah, all you do is warp in as many High Templars as you can. And you do this kind of dance off. Right? I mean, you use the Immortals because they buff. The Marauders can't do anything against them. Anytime the Marines come, you just storm them because they're so weak and fragile. The storms pretty much should kill them with the immortal shot. And now he's just zoning with these storms, but the storms are missing. The storms are missing. He only has 1 storm, I believe. And there's that last storm. He doesn't really have any more for storm. Wait, he does have these 2 High Templars, and this is what I was talking about. Just buy time, you make 2 high jump launches, he's gonna make 2 more high jump launches back home at least. Keep those as high jump launches to build up energy. This is dance off. I mean, the longer this goes, the worse it gets for because he's still on 2 days. Rain is still on 3 days. There's GG from Bomber. Finally gives up, taps out. Rain just playing, straight up beast moding it. Well, except this one. I mean, he did the DT drop thing. But at the same time, Bomber, he took a risk, and it was unfortunate. It got scouted. 95% of the time, that one gets scouted. Which one did he miss? Whirlwind? So this is pretty much the last map. So Whirlwind, 4-player map. Early game, I feel like this is a little bit good for Terran because the chances of Protoss scouting you first is 33%. So you could go CC first, and on the low ground, in fact. But for Protoss, it's a little bit risky to go Nexus first because, once again, some Terrans like to open up with Reaper. You can see Bomber queuing up SCV, so it looks like he is going to be going for CC first on this map. I like that quite a bit from him. Hey, yeah. Another tip on 4-player maps, you generally scout clockwise. So if you do get scouted first, or it looks like you got scouted first, just scout counterclockwise, and majority of the time you will scout them in that position. CC first, going up for Bomber. Rax over there. Second Rax as well. Pretty normal from him. Rain, compared to the first game, look at this, he's getting gas because he doesn't know he's facing CC first, so Rain's going to be a little bit behind in build order wise because of his economy is going to be a little bit less than Bombers, but he's going for a very aggressive build here. Chrono boosting out some Stalkers and the Mothership Core. He finally scouts them last. No bunker, oh my gosh. This works? Whoa, 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 whoa. This works. What? No way. How long does it take for a bunker to build? 40 seconds. How about a Marine? 45 seconds. Oh my gosh. What? Alright, I know I'm times 2ing this, because I'm just taking this all in. This build is so sick. We're going over this replay, guys. This is the as you can tell, this is like the first time I've seen this. We are so going over this build. This build is so sick on this map. I love it. I love everything about it. Oh my gosh. So I'm gonna let this pan out right now. We're just gonna go over it, and then we'll go over the build. He's going up to 4 gates. I love this decision from him. He knows he's not gonna be facing Widow Mines whatsoever because of the opening from Bomber. So all those Marines as well. So he's going up to 4 gates. He's gonna pretty much contain them, and he might bust. I would prefer if he just contains them though. And we'll see if he actually just goes for the contain. Oh, sick timing from Bomber. He's gonna be able to get out though, right before the sentries. But the cool thing about this is that since he's moving out, he's not gonna have any bunkers. So this 4 gate pressure is just, oh my gosh, everything about this. This, guys, is why I love Rain so much. Just so smart. He does get 1 bunker down, but oh, and he kills a Mothership Core, which is really nice. Look at the supply, 63 to 49. I mean, he's trying to get medevacs with Starport as soon as possible. I think this is a little bit too greedy for him. I would have actually, instead of making that reactor, I would have invested into Widow Mines immediately and just, delay your medevacs to come out. Okay, we're gonna go over this build because this build is so freaking good against Terrans. Okay. Why is it really good? Because the scouting of the probe is very on point. Like the timing is perfect. So when he scouts first, the first thing he wants to do is, if he doesn't scout him first, that's okay. You know he's not in this position. You know, and then scout the second, you know he's not in this position. So he's gonna be in this position, obviously. Wow. The second thing you need to know is he going CC first or Reaper? Easy enough to tell. If he goes for Reaper, you will be able to see the Reaper when your Zealot comes out and the Stalker on the way. That's why your Zealot is going to be going towards the middle of the map, because that's where the Reaper is going to be coming from. It's going to be coming straight from the middle, generally. And then he uses the mini map to like tell which position you're going to go in. So you have the vision of the watchtower. Okay, I don't see any Reapers. Cool. That means he's probably going to be going CC first. So I'm chrono boosting out the Stalkers and the Militia Corps to go across the map, or go towards this base and kill him. The timing of it is so well done. The bunker is not going to be done. And even if the bunker is done, then you just go right past it. You just keep on going right past it, and then what do you do? What do you actually do? So well done. 13 gate, 14 gas, 14 scout. Now, there are some downsides to this build. Whoa. Whoa, 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 whoa. That's not 13 gate. Just kidding, guys. That's a 10 gate. Okay, so he just like blind countered CC first. Nine pylon. $11 gate? Makes no sense if you're gonna 10 gate. Well, you know what? I'm trusting what he's doing. Alright, 10 gate, 10 pylon, 9 pylon, 10 gate, 10 assimilator, scout. Chrono boost probes once. Chrono boost probes twice, put 3 guys in gas. Now, even if it's I want to pause it real quick. I didn't cover. If they go for gas first builds, which can be popular on this map because of the chances of you scouting him first is really unlikely. Get to his base before the factory's gonna. When you get to his base and he's not gonna have any units, so you just kill him like that, or do a lot of damage to keep him back at his base. Unless he opens up Widow Mine, then that might be a problem. I think. But you'll know that you'll see the Widow Mine, so you can react, quickly and make a starport. A robo. But I don't think that's. I think that's the build that's gonna kill it though. Like, by initial thoughts, it's really good against Reaper. It's really good against CC first. Those are the two most common builds for this map. Chrono boosts out the Militia Corps. Chrono boosts out the Stalker. No Warp Gate. Chrono boosting again on the Stalker. Gonna get 2 Stalkers out. And look at this timing. When it takes 40 seconds for a bunker to finish. And this bunker finished at 3:45. So 4:25 is when he can have a bunker. That's when this bunker can finish. And look at this. Okay, well, I guess it can finish on time. Even though just one Marine and you just bypass it and you stay over here, it's really nothing Bomber can do. He just has one Marine inside a bunker, which he just like go past anyways. You go in the main and oh my gosh. Look at this. So behind this, he's still chrono boosting Stalkers. Okay. and he also starts warp gate. So he's still gonna be making stalkers till he has 4 stalkers. So like, if he knows it's Widowmine, instead of adding on those 2 stalkers, I think he would invest into a robo immediately at that point, and just play contain with the 1 zealot and 2 stalkers with the mothership core. Because he's going for a fast Widowmine, he's not gonna have that many units, so you can't really push away the stalkers with the zealot. Now the next response from Rain, just super safe and super smart. The next response is the 4 gate. So there's 2 options that Terran could do, or 2 options that's gonna happen. One is that he's gonna get contained by the sentries, and he doesn't have a pylon there because it's timed wrong, unfortunately. But if he does have sentries here, he's gonna be able to contain them until he has factory, and he has 4 gates to confirm that. The reason why you don't need 4 gates to do that though. You know, you only need like 2 to 3 gateways to get the sentries out. But he has it as an insurance, because if Bomber decides to move down, down on its ramp on time and kill off these, or contest with the stalkers, and Rain is forced to move back, you could go for a 4 gate push, because he's never gonna have bunkers on time, and you can always delay your robo if that's the case. Like if you contain him, that's when you add on your robo and you don't invest into a push. It's never wise to go up a ramp in my, this ramp. You can go up this ramp. This ramp is huge. This one's small. You don't really want to go up there. So if he is contained, you just add on a quick robo with 4 gates and you play from there. Look at this. Look at the timing of this. Very well done. 6 sentries with some zealots. And that's GG. Oh gosh, Rain's so good. My goodness. So that 10 gate build that he does this game was so smart on Whirlwind. If you're looking for an aggressive build for that map, I feel like that's the best one. Like, yeah, you can have problems if they open up Widowmine. You just have to make sure you get a quick robo, and then you try to contain him with your 2 zealot, or your 1 zealot 2 soccer mothership back at his base. Kind of try to contain him while you're trying to get this, while you're trying to get your economy back up. Because obviously you're cutting a lot of workers for this to happen, for this to work. But yeah, so hopefully this actually helps a lot of people. I learned quite a bit from it. Obviously I learned from this game a lot. And yeah, if you want the replays, Blizzard are starting to release the WCS replays. You probably could just Google it. It's also on my website at flatlinesc2.com, which you can also check out. It's kind of more organized on my YouTube channel. If you're watching it from my YouTube channel, you can check it out. My website, you can see some replays of me and some other stuff Protoss related. It's more organized for the matchups as well. And if you haven't already, please subscribe to my channel. If you are a YouTube avid, or an avid YouTuber that watches, can subscribe. I greatly appreciate it. Yeah, thanks guys for watching. And I know I've been quite inactive on my YouTube. I just been busy with personal life, just been busy with work and stuff, and streaming. I've been streaming quite a bit, trying to devote more of my time on the streaming. So if you want to watch more of me, you can check out my stream at twitch.tv/flatlinesc2 twitch.tv/flatlinesc2. Anyways guys, thanks for watching, and I'll see you later.